Howdy YouTube, my name's Kim, and this is my 1994 Chevy Suburban K2500. My wife and I have decided to turn it into our tiny home on wheels, and this video is about the first step in that process, painting it. When we first purchased the truck, it had this mossy oak winter camouflage on it, which was cool, don't get me wrong. We got lots of compliments on it, but it was peeling off. It had seen better days for sure. And with this whole process of us turning it into a tiny home, we needed him looking his best on the outside as to not draw too much attention to ourselves. I mean, camouflage jokes aside. So first step was removing the camouflage using heat guns and things like that. And underneath we discovered that it was two-tone, what we call Garth Brooks blue, I guess you could say. This wrap had been on the truck for so long that it was actually quite difficult to get off. It had baked itself onto the truck and changed the color of the paint underneath. The tool I'm using is basically a giant eraser that you mount to the end of the drill. I'll put a link in the description below for it, along with the other products that I ordered off of Amazon. Some of the truck did come apart a little easier using the heat gun. We were able to get some bigger sections off of it, but for the most part, it was elbow grease only. Okie dokie. The day has come to change the color of this truck. Got the sanding stuff out. Not really worrying about the dent in the back door too much because there will be stuff mounted to that door and holes drilled in it and all that kind of stuff. So getting one last look at him before he starts to change. I'll end up doing the roof first. But he was kind of this two-tone green color. There's Angie. There he is. Gonna do the bumpers. You can see he's got a lot of paint spots and stuff from living in Oregon, where there's actually rust, the paint's chipping off in a lot of spots. The mirrors, I mean, he just looks, his outside's looking a little rough. Special thanks to Ty and Bug for letting us use their driveway. We live in an apartment, so this would have been impossible to do without their help. After about, 3 or 4 weeks, this is about how much sanding we had gotten done, just going over there a couple hours a day and working on the truck. I had paid a mechanic to remove the bumpers and the step rails to make this entire process easier to do. The removal of the bumpers was $250. But I consider that money well spent. It made the whole process a lot easier to deal with. One thing I would definitely recommend is make sure that you use good quality tape. Make sure your tape lines are nice and straight and take your time. Once I had the entire vehicle taped off, I bought a cheap shower curtain at the dollar store to throw up on the top so I could start painting it from the top down. This is what it looked like after I got done with primer. It was a total of 12 cans of primer. They were $7 each about at Home Depot. Just your regular old Rust-Oleum sandable primer. I really liked the way it came out with the primer. Everything looked really good. Just had to do a light sanding afterwards to get it all smoothed out and prepped for white paint. Instead of purchasing new headlights, I went ahead and just bought a $16 headlight cleaning kit so I could have the headlights polished up. We also got smoked side markers and a new grill so that when the paint job was done, all that would be fresh, clean, and shiny. This is what the headlights looked like before the polishing process. All in all, it took a total of 18 cans of white paint, 12 cans of primer. I used 12 cans of enamel. I would definitely recommend using 24 cans on a vehicle this big if you want that factory gloss shine. There are a few spots on there where it came out that the enamel is not quite as thick as it should be, but I wasn't, this is a camping vehicle, not really a show vehicle. But if I had used one of those portable paint tints from Amazon and twice as much enamel, I believe that the paint job would have come out looking factory fresh. And here are the final results.
now comes the part of the video that everyone's really curious about. How much did it all cost? 12 cans of primer, $85. 18 cans of white, $150. 12 cans of clear coat, $230. 3 cans of black, $25. $250 to remove the bumpers, $450 to put the bumpers back on, $60 in sanders, $50 in pads, $100 in miscellaneous materials, tape, paper, sawhorses, things like that, bringing the grand total to $1,500 parts and labor. I could not be happier with the results. I'd like to thank y'all for watching, and click that subscribe button if you want to see more content and updates to the Suburban as we move forward and turn it into our tiny home on wheels.